Welcome back everyone to another handheld news recap. It's going to be a bit of a shorter one this time, but we do have a number of important updates to cover this week, including the Tecno Pocket Go, the updates I was going to go over last time, as well as some new ones, and also a surprise that I'm going to be reviewing it. We have some new Intel drivers to cover. There's also some news on the price of those new AMD Strix chips and what it might mean for your handheld price. And further for AMD, we heard about FSR4, a little bit about what their intentions are with it, and some of the technology it's going to be utilizing. Lenovo is giving some accessories away when you purchase a Legion Go in select regions. We also had a GPU update for the ROG Ally and Ally X, although some users have reported some quite interesting issues with it. We have some SteamOS updates to go over, as well as some information on the OneXGPU 2 that I actually have in my possession right now and have been testing. Now that we've got the plan, let's dive into it. We'll start off with the Tecno Pocket Go. I planned to go over this last week as mentioned, but I had missed putting it in, so we're going to include it today. So for those that don't know what the Tecno Pocket Go is it's basically a handheld, but it's all built into a controller, and the controller looks like a slightly larger Nintendo Switch or Xbox controller. It doesn't have any built-in display, so it relies exclusively on the USB-C port for video out, and that can either be to a monitor, to a dock, or to the included AR glasses that come with it. For its APU, it's using the Ryzen 7 8840, and it comes in both the U and the HS configurations. For the RAM, we have 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM. We also have a replaceable battery that comes at 50 watt hours, so you can actually swap out batteries. If your battery is dying, you just grab a new one, swap it in, which is completely unique to these handheld devices. If your battery is getting low, just shut down the device, grab a spare battery, plop it in, and you're good to go again. As mentioned earlier, there's an included AR glasses that come with it. They're rated or described as having a 215-inch screen at 6 meters, which if you compare it to the Ray Neo Air 2S, which I recently reviewed, that one's rated at 201 inches at 6 meters, so these AR glasses should have a slightly larger field of view compared to the Ray Neo Air 2S, probably somewhere between the Air 2S and the Viture Pro. Another cool thing for the Pocket Go is actually that I'm going to get a review unit. So if you guys have any questions or things that you'd like to see tested, let me know in the comments. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to the thermals, testing out the glasses to see how they look compared to some of the others, and also just testing some game performance, eGPU compatibility, and just really to see what this thing can do. My review will be coming when the device actually launches, and I don't know when launch date is going to be, but there is a Kickstarter you can follow, so you can subscribe to the email if you'd like to receive a notification when it comes live. Or you can always just drop in any of my comments on one of my videos, ask me if I've got any updates, and I'll let you guys know what I find out. Our next topic for the quick news is the AMD Strix Point APU and its price point. Apparently it's going to be coming in at over twice the cost according to GPD. In GPD's Discord, one of the staff members was discussing the price point. They couldn't say exactly what the price is, but they hinted that it's going to be over 2 times the price of the 8840, which is a little bit disappointing because if you're thinking about the next generation of handhelds, it's really difficult to think about what the price point is going to be. If the APU is costing twice the amount, then what are we going to be expecting? Over $1,000? I know that the APU doesn't directly translate to double the price of the handheld because it's only one component, but it is a major component in the handheld, so I'm assuming we're going to see some price increases across the board. So my next question is, will this also impact the Z2 Extreme or whatever AMD is going to call it, or is this going to be exclusive to the AI line? There's a few examples of products actually coming out at a higher price point with this new chip, and for that we could even just look right again at GPD and what their price point is for a new laptop that they have. The GPD Duo has a couple of configurations, the first one being the Ryzen 7 8840U, which comes in at $1,270 USD. And that's versus the new chip with the HX370, which is coming in at $1,650 USD, so a $380 difference. It's not all just the APU. You're going from 32 gigs down to 16 and 1 terabyte down to 512 if you're looking at going from the 370 down to the 8840. So we're going to have to wait to see how things actually turn out for other devices. This is not great news for handheld users because the devices, they tend to creep up there with price as we add more features. Looking at the ROG Ally X, we went from $699 to $799 with increasing the RAM to 24 gigs and adding a bit of storage. So my next question is like, are the next generation handhelds going to be $1,000 plus? I guess we're going to have to wait to see. Next up, AMD recently announced their FSR4 plans and some of the information behind it, how much time they've spent on it, and where it's heading. Tom's Hardware reported in a discussion with AMD's Senior Vice President and General Manager that FSR4 is coming. They've been working on it between 9 to 12 months, and they're taking more of a AI-based focus. One of the benefits they cited a few times is actually battery life. They talked about how on handhelds, that's constantly the struggle, is being able to play games at a high enough fidelity while still having good battery life. Those of you that have handhelds know that often you have to crank up the TDP to get decent performance if you're playing a AAA title. One of the main benefits of FSR4 that they referenced was handheld devices and their battery life. The example they gave was being able to play Wukong for 3 hours rather than 1 hour. And they're hoping that FSR4 will bring that performance bump where you can turn down the wattage, lock in your frame rate at 30 frames per second or 60 depending on what game you're playing, and hopefully be able to get a significant battery increase. We didn't really get any kind of indication on when this will be launching, whether it's coming in the next year, whether it's coming 2 years from now, the next few months. We really don't know, so we're going to have to watch this one, and I'll let you guys know what I find out as we go along. And last up for our quick news is some new Intel drivers. Now the release notes on this one were a little bit odd. They don't really talk about any new game support, just kind of highlight known issues. So I don't know what games were added, what bugs were fixed. Maybe it was something that was just missed on the release notes. But anyway, if you want to take a closer look, I'll leave a link in the description. Go ahead and take a look at it. Lenovo recently announced a back-to-school special in select regions where if you buy a Legion Go, you can get the official Legion Go USB-C dock. It doesn't appear like it's relevant to North America. I checked the regions down in the bottom section of the website, and it seems like it's going to be in South Korea, Vietnam, Australia, New Zealand, and a few other places. So if you're in one of those regions, check out the website. I'm linking it in the description. And if your region is in there, maybe take advantage of this if you've just recently bought a dock. I saw some chat where some people had bought their device like 2 months ago or whatever, and they were still able to get in on this. So maybe take a look at it, see if it's relevant to you, and if you can get a free dock, why not? ASUS recently put out a few updates for both the Ally and the Ally X. We had BIOS updates, MCU updates, as well as GPU driver updates. Starting first with the Ally on September 14th, we had an update to the BIOS that basically made room for the 2024 Q2 security patch with Windows. Then on September 20th, we had an iGPU driver update that brought optimizations for Black Myth Wukong. This fixed an issue where there were overly dark shadows and desaturated colors while playing the game. It also resolved some issues with global illumination when set to medium or higher. Then moving over to the Ally X, on September 5th, we had an MCU update. We did cover that last week, so I'm not going to go over that today. And on the 20th of September, we had 2 updates. One was a BIOS update, BIOS 308, which fixed an issue where sound was crackling while playing games, as well as the same 2024 Q2 security patch update support that came out recently in Windows. And then also on September 20th, we had an iGPU graphics driver update. This was the same as the ROG Ally one, where it fixed an issue with dark shadows and desaturated colors, as well as global illumination. So all sounds good for the driver updates. However, there have been some reports that have come out of people having some issues with this particular update, and I'm not sure if it's the graphics driver, the BIOS, or what have it. But we recently saw a video from CPPC Tek where his device, immediately after updating the iGPU driver on the original ROG Ally, was getting a bit of a screen issue where the outlines were completely white. And there was some lines going up and down vertically. You can't really see it well on the video, but that's what he was describing. And then later on, actually, I think the next day, his device was completely dead. It wouldn't boot up, wouldn't accept power, and was not being fixed by unplugging the battery, replacing the battery. Nothing was working. So I don't know if this is actually related or if it's just a coincidence that this happened to happen at the exact same time, but I would look at it, maybe research on Reddit a bit more to see if other people are having this issue. I have seen a few comments come through of people having issues, but I've also seen comments of people that have updated and there was no issues at all. So really it's up to you if you want to do the update and see how it goes. However, in light of some of the comments and conversations that I've seen, I would recommend maybe holding off a few days and see if there's, I guess, an issue resolution that comes from ASUS, whether they acknowledge the issue. or perhaps they'll pull the update and push out another one. So we'll have to wait to see what happens with this one and see if there's any more, I guess, conversation around it, but I'll let you guys know as I learn more about this. If you'd like to take a look at the video that I'm referencing from CPPC Tek, check out the video description. Next up, we'll take a look at our product of the week, and this one's from Lytmi, called their Cozy Fit open-ear headphones. So what you get in the box is your USB-C cable to charge the device, and you get your user guide. You can actually find this by scanning your headphone case, and it'll take you to the website for a digital version. The case itself has a battery to charge the headphones and can be charged via USB-C at the back. When we open it up and take a look at the headphones, you can see their design is meant to wrap around the outside of the ear while the other piece rests inside. You also have touch controls on both sides that you can adjust the volume, you can skip songs, accept a call, reject a call, and many other actions. To charge your headphones, all you need to do is put them back in the case and they'll naturally click into place with the electrical contacts and charge while you have it in the case. And as mentioned earlier, you could charge your case through the USB-C cord with the cable that was provided. If you forget how to do anything on your headphones, on the back of the case is a QR code that will take you to a link that will show you your instruction manual. As far as the headphones themselves, using them, the quality is decent for the highs, although it's quite lacking in the bass department because they are open-ear headphones, they're not sitting directly inside your ear. I found that after using them for a couple of hours, I wasn't getting ear fatigue, something that I tend to get with the in-ear headphones, like your ears get a little bit sore after a while. So my best use case is actually when I'm at work. I don't want to be completely cut off from being able to hear things if someone's calling me. So it's a good fit for that kind of scenario where you want to be able to hear what's around you and also be able to still hear your music. Same goes for gaming. If you're in a light gaming session and you don't want to disrupt others with the speaker on the handheld itself, it's a good option to listen to your game without disrupting others, but again, it's not super immersive because of the bass, so keep that in mind if you are looking for a very deep and rich sound. This is not going to be the headphones for that. I see these as more casual headphones that are very comfortable, you can wear for a long period of time and not have to be super immersed into your music or game or whatever it is you're using them for. If you're interested in checking these out, they're fairly affordable. They come in at $40 US. You can find them at Lytmi's website. As far as this collaboration, there was no money that exchanged hands. Lytmi did send this out to me for free though, to test out for you guys and to share my thoughts. They're seeing this video at the same time that you are, so it is my own thoughts and my opinions on this. For the MSi Claw updates, there's basically just those drivers that I talked about in the quick news. I don't have any more information on the Claw 8, but I'll let you guys know when I hear more. One thing I did want to highlight though for the Claw is actually how much better it's been performing recently. Like, I've talked about these driver updates each time I do a news recap. You know, there's a number of updates that seem to come out, but I haven't really gone back to test it on the Claw to see how it's going. Like, if you take a look in the background here, I'm playing Cyberpunk. I have it set to the lowest settings, but I'm getting over 60 FPS. And if you guys remember when the Claw first came out, I was getting maybe 30 FPS and it was a stuttering mess. So here it seems pretty smooth. Like, I didn't actually get any stutters while I was playing, and it really does feel like a much smoother experience, one that I would actually be willing to play. So let me know, those that actually have a Claw or have been paying attention to it, have you guys noticed any performance improvements, or am I just out to lunch here? And would you be interested in me doing a second look at the Claw where I do a little bit more performance testing to see what's improved? We had a few SteamOS updates this week, the first one being on September 17th, and this was an update to the beta client, which addressed a couple of issues with Steam input. They fixed an issue with the virtual menus where they're left visible when mode shifting, as well as a Steam overlay sometimes toggling when activating the on-screen keyboard. And also on the 17th, basically the same update, except they moved it over to the stable OS as well. And again on the 18th, we had another update to the beta client. This one was fixing a bug that would prevent offline mode if you'd restart after installing an update. And they also pushed that update to the stable OS. Then our last update was also to the beta client. This was on September 20th, and it fixed a security bug for Flatpak, and it also fixed nested desktop crashing on launch. For Onexplayer and aokzoe, the only update that I have is the onexgpu 2 is actually going to be going into its Indiegogo campaign on September 26th. I've actually been testing this device, and I have to say it's pretty impressive. It's outperforming the previous OneXGPU by about 50% in some of the tests that I was running. So for my review, I'm going to be putting it out about a half an hour before the campaign actually goes live, so stay tuned for that one. I have to say it's been a lot of fun testing out the OneXGPU too, and I think I'm going to be picking one up because it's pretty awesome actually. If you want to follow this campaign, I'll leave a link in the description. You can click there and you can actually sign up for an email notification when it goes live, and you can take advantage of some of those early bird prices. Typically, these products, they have certain perks and whatever that you get alongside it if you order within the first little bit. So again, if this is something that you're interested in, check out the link, make sure to sign up for it, and take advantage of those extra items. This week, I don't have any updates for Aya Neo or GPD, so that's going to end this recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.